breakfast spot. Morning, my friends. So you see, it's quite a big breakfast. So many things. It looks like that's almost like za'atar. Cheese, olives, olive oil, labneh, jam, butter, probably hummus, and omelette, and vegetables, and bread. Yeah, awesome. But the best is Fairouz in the morning. You should always listen to Fairouz in the morning. So guys, the plan for today is gonna be, it should be quite an interesting day for this second day in Syria. We're gonna leave, I finished breakfast. It's about, it's almost 8 o'clock in the morning, and at 8 they're gonna come pick me up. Rula is gonna come with the driver, they're gonna come pick me up, and we're gonna head to Aleppo. Wow. I dreamed so much to go to Aleppo. Aleppo is supposed to be the oldest continually inhabited city in the world, basically. No, it was not continually. It's supposed to be like, it might be the oldest city in the world, but it was not continually inhabited. That's the difference. It was abandoned at some points. But the city is supposed to be, might be the oldest city in the world. And on the way to Aleppo, we're gonna stop in Maaloula, a Christian village that was completely destroyed, was almost completely destroyed by ISIS. And that was, surprisingly for Westerners, and well, surprisingly for me as well, I had no idea, that was liberated by the Hezbollah actually. Well, the Hezbollah helped liberate Maaloula, the Christian village. And yeah, so Maaloula was liberated by the Hezbollah. Well, the Hezbollah helped the liberation of Maaloula. So we're gonna stop in Maaloula, and then I think we're gonna stop in Homs also, which is the other big city in halfway between Damascus and Aleppo. And then after Homs, we're gonna head to Aleppo to spend a full day in Aleppo tomorrow. So yeah, join me on this adventure across Syria today. So we're just in the outskirts of Damascus, and you can see all the buildings already destroyed. So the war reached to here. It did not reach the center of Damascus, but reached the outskirts. You probably can't really see, but all the buildings there are destroyed. Everything is destroyed here. Wow.
عامل لك عم بمشي على مهلي على المطبات مشان ظهري.
هذاك خلعنا دغري هذاك اللي بيت.
Wow. Oh. So that's the first church. It was the first church in Maaloula, right? Okay. So we are in Maaloula now. The Christian village that was destroyed by ISIS. Oh, they stole all the icons. Okay.
They were burned. Some of them were stolen. She wants to explain the door.
She wants to what?
This door is 1,700 years old of cedar wood.
Okay.
The key?
Cedar wood?
Yeah.
Okay.
Open.
Oh, wow. Oh, fantastic. Yeah, okay. Yeah. That's to open the door. Great. Okay.
Open. Close.
Okay. And so that's the local wine.
This is the local.
That's the local one. So they give me a sip of the local wine. Oh, it's sweet, yeah. Very good, shukran.
Welcome.
So it's produced in Maaloula, the wine?
The one, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So here is the panorama view over Maaloula. Look at this beautiful landscape. And you can see the hotel there, which was, well, there is the noise, sorry for the noise of the generator, but people need to have electricity here. Yeah, basically, so you can see the hotel there. It was used as the headquarters for ISIS, when the ISIS took control of this village. And you can see all of the village, basically all the houses. So the village was destroyed by ISIS. And what Rula told me also is that so many people came back to the village after ISIS left,
and but the young people not so much. I mean, the elders would not want to leave their house, so they came back to live in the village. But because the younger people, many of them did not come back because they say there is no job, and so. And here you can see the church, some other abandoned buildings. So what Rula just explained me is that basically, so ISIS took control of the hotel. Has very good business before, and well, then ISIS took control of the hotel for the headquarters. And basically, what they did, as the village is just under this ridge, what they did is they were burning tires, and they were throwing the tires with the burning tires on the village to destroy the village, to burn the village. And because many of the traditional houses were made of wood, so many people lost their houses in this way because of ISIS. And then when Hezbollah decided to help the Syrian government to fight ISIS, yeah, so then the hotel was heavily bombed to get rid of ISIS. So basically now the hotel is not usable. But yeah, the hotel was heavily bombed, and they managed to get rid of, the Syrian government managed to get rid of ISIS here, thanks to the help of the Hezbollah, basically. So that's the short story about how they got back, how they kicked ISIS out of Maaloula. I think we're gonna stop in two villages where they still speak Aramaic, which was the language of Jesus, which was the language of all the region before Islam came. Yeah, most people were speaking Aramaic. Actually, it's funny. I just saw some Aramaic writing, and actually Aramaic looks a lot like Arabic. It's just they don't have all the dots on the letters, so it's much more complicated to read. But because to differentiate some letters in Arabic, you have some dots on top or on the bottom of the letter, and they don't have that. But otherwise, the letters are very similar to Arabic. And so basically, at the time of Jesus, all the region like Syria, Lebanon, Palestine, or Israel, and Jordan, all the region was speaking Aramaic basically. And then they switched to Arabic when Islam came. So now we are walking to the second church of Maaloula. Thakla, okay. So the church is in Thakla?
Yeah.
Okay.
We want to go to Thakla.
Okay, so we're going to Thakla and see the church of Thakla. So let's walk through the canyon that is gonna lead us to the church. Look at this beautiful narrow canyon. And basically, so Rula just told me the story of Thakla, who basically she was living somewhere in Anatolia, and at some point, don't remember exactly, she met Saint Paul, and she converted to Christianity, and then she tried to convert other people to Christianity as well. But then she was like, to make it quick, kind of sentenced to death, so she escaped from Anatolia all the way to here, and thanks to this beautiful canyon, she managed to find a place to hide here near the village of Maaloula. So, and the story says basically that Thakla, then she hid here. That's where, and her body was left in the church that we're gonna visit now. And basically, she's the one who Christianized the region here, because she had a very good heart. She was a very kind person, and so by example, she Christianized the area basically. Yeah, so, and that's thanks to this very narrow canyon, she was able to hide from the soldiers and to come live here hidden in the mountains basically. Thakla, the woman who Christianized Maaloula and this region in Syria. What a beautiful canyon though. looks very much like the canyon you go through before reaching Petra, actually. Wow. Now it opens up. What a beauty. And another story Rula told me, you can see all the holes in the mountains. So they're all man-made. And basically, they were very important because in those small holes the temperature is kind of stable during the entire year. And so before the Europeans came here, before First World War, they were used to store food. So before electricity arrived here, basically. Yeah, all those holes were used to store food because the temperature is very good, and if the food and even the meat is prepared properly, you can even store it all the way until like 1 year in those holes. Very impressive. Eh? And yeah, here it was no electricity because they were, as Rula explained me also, before First World War, they had no, how to explain, where they were under the caliphate, the Islamic caliphate of the Ottomans, and basically the people had no education and were left analphabet and uneducated by the Ottomans. Basically the Ottomans, as she said, were taking all the wealth, and they were leaving the people, they were letting the people live in the same way as in the Middle Ages without educating them at all. So the modern life came when the French came here, basically. The electricity, cars, planes, all that arrived after First World War here. This way, okay. So that's Thakla and St. Paul, and how the story of how they met in Turkey. So you can see this icon was burned by ISIS. That's fresh spring water, and it's supposed to cure your diseases. So let's have some holy water. It's really good. Shukran. And you can see here all the icons are new, basically because the original ones were destroyed by ISIS. And what's incredible also is that apparently the nuns here were kidnapped by ISIS, but they were very lucky because they did not harm them, basically. They gave them food, they did not do anything bad to them. So then they were liberated when the Hezbollah and the Syrian army liberated the village. They were freed then at that time, while other Christian priests were kidnapped near Aleppo and they completely vanished, basically, and no one heard about them again. But here the nuns were lucky; they survived being kidnapped by ISIS. So basically, that's where Thakla lived. This cave. That's why the church is here. So that's destroyed, faces destroyed by, the mosaic was destroyed by ISIS, the face. And you can still see the hotel, the headquarters of ISIS up there, and the beautiful church. What a fascinating place, really. And I got a little bit more knowledge also about the holes on the cliffs. For the food, actually they were putting wooden doors in front of the holes, so they can protect, of course, the food from thieves. But what an interesting place. And the big cross up there. Look at the cliff. And the nuns who survived ISIS, that's incredible to me. Like, that's insane. It's great, actually. Maybe they say, because also Rula explained me that also Muslims come from the holy water to get cured from the holy water. So it's not only Christians who come here for the holy water. Maybe the holy water also saved the nuns. This place is fascinating, really.